Hare Krishna, thank you for joining. Let's start with Radha Madhav and then start new chapter today. Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jayo Giravardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jayo Giravardhari Shodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana Shodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hari Hari Bol Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirthansya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayam Tatati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathamnitam Tam Sajim Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Karpata Priyascha Kirpa Sindhudevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasdi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kripatam Mandashi Guruntir Taranam Paramanandam Shri Chitaneshram Hariyan Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Nar Uttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamadurya Nashta Preshabdreshi Nityam Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestiki. So, Hare Krishna. We're doing chapter 13 today. Dhritarashtra quits home and welcome back Pundikaksh Prabhu from India as well. Just share chapter 13. Okay. So This is 60 verses in this chapter, so longer than some of the others that we've done so far. And just to quickly go through this, it's in the group as well. So 1 to 7 verses is about Vidura returns to Hastinapur from pilgrimage. So he's been all around the country, and he's met Uddhav, he's met Maitreya as well, and he's heard all the news. He's been updated on what's happened. So Vidur returns after hearing from Maitreya about self-realization. All Hastinapur residents received him as if they regained consciousness. So he's well loved by all the Hastinapur residents. Only Duryodhana had problem with him, nobody had problem with him. So 8 to 13, conversation between Yudhishthira and Vidur. So Yudhishthira inquires about Vidur's travels and Dwarkavasis, and then Vidur relates everything except the news of Yadu's annihilation. So he knows everything now, and he knows that the Yadus have destroyed themselves. 14-17, Vidur's purpose for staying in Hastinapur for the benefit of the Dhritarashtra, who is attached to family affairs. And so there's the answer. So 18 to 28, Vidur chastises Dhritarashtra. So, sometimes like we discuss, sometimes you need a danda to sort somebody out. Mere words, sweet words do not work, then you have to use force. And Vidur says, get out of here, fear has overtaken you. Lord, as Kal approached all of us, forces everyone to surrender everything, life also. Sooner or later, when we leave, we have to leave this world, leave all our assets, and we also have to leave this body. Can't take anything, only bhakti will go with you, only your karma will go with you. Otherwise, leave everything here, even your body. So 21-22, all your relatives died, symptoms of old age appeared in you, living like a dog of beam, no need to live degraded life. So in his back of his mind, Dhritarashtra thinks he's still a king. He's been king for so long. He's like in that king mode, and he wants to eat what he wants to eat. He wants to enjoy everything. He cannot get out of that mode. Whereas Bhim hates him. Bhim is not so forgiving like the other Pandavas, and he teases him, calls him names, because Bhim doesn't like the sight of him. How dare, after all that's happened, he still remain here? Should have left by his own accord. But it's because Yudhishthira is very forgiving and he doesn't mind. He thinks he's still my uncle. It's fine. It's okay. Whatever's happened due to providence. He's happy to support or maintain Dhritarashtra, but not Bhim. Bhim not having any of this, so he really gives him a hard time. And maybe it seems like Vidur also saw that as well, humiliation of his elder brother. But, he just turns he's only blind, now he's deaf as well, doesn't hear all this. So Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and Vidur leave, and Yudhishthira laments. So they will leave. So Gandhari followed Dhritarashtra, and Yudhishthira discovered their departure. And Yudhishthira lamented and inquired from Sanjay. Sanjay felt cheated. And arrival of then Narad Muni shatters Yudhishthira's lamentation and illusion. So arrival of Narad Muni and King Yudhishthira's inquiries. Narad Muni philosophically dispelled his illusion and future acts of Dhritarashtra left for Himalayas, performs Ashtanga Yoga, gives a body, Gandhari does sati, and Vidur goes for pilgrimage again. So he only came back for Dhritarashtra, and he fulfilled Mission Impossible, and then he leaves back to, he's got a taste for pilgrimage now. He doesn't want any of this royalty, so he's back again doing his pilgrimage for whatever life he has left. So it's an amazing chapter. It's very, very pious, and so much to learn from this example, and from the point of view of Vidur, from the point of view of Dhritarashtra, from the point of view of Yudhishthir, like that, and maybe learn something from Bhim as well. And so let's do 1 and 2. Stop sharing this. Okay, so chapter 13. Sutta Avacha. Vidurastirth yatriyam metriyad atmano gatim gyatvagat dastina puram tyavapat vivitsita. So Sutta Avacha, Shri Sutta Goswami said, Vidur, Tirth Yatriyam, while traveling to different places of pilgrimage, Maitriyat from the great sage Maitreya, Atmana of the self, Gatim destination, Gyatva by knowing it, Agat went back, Hastanapuram, the city of Hastinapur, Taya by that knowledge, Avapat sufficiently a gainer, Vivitsita being well versed in everything knowable. So Shri Sutta Goswami said, while traveling on a pilgrimage, Vidu received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Maitreya, and then returned to Hastinapur. He became as well versed in the subject as he desired. So one thing we remember, that this Bhagavatam that we are reading is spoken by Sutta Goswami after he heard from Sukadeva Goswami. So Shri Sutta Goswami said. So Vidur, just to tell about him. So one of the prominent figures in the history of Mahabharata. He was conceived by Vyasadeva in the womb of the maidservant of Ambika, mother of Maharaj Pandu. He is the incarnation of Yamaraj. Being cursed by Manduka Muni, he was to become a Shudra. The story is narrated as follows. So he says, Ambika, mother of Maharaj Pandu, just to avoid confusion, she's like a stepmother to Pandu. So Dhritarashtra had one mother, and Pandu had another one, and then third was Ambika, the maidservant. They all became pregnant at more or less same time, and then one had, like I said, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and because he was like sometimes teased as the son of a maidservant, although he's very, very learned. So being cursed by Manduka Muni, he was to become Shudra. The story is narrated as follows. So once upon a time, the state police caught some thieves who had concealed themselves in the hermitage of Manduka Muni. The police constables, as usual, arrested all the thieves and Manduka Muni along with them. The magistrate specifically punished the Muni to death by being pierced with a lance. When he was just to be pierced, the news reached the king, and he at once stopped the act on consideration of his king being a great Muni. The king personally begged the Muni's pardon for the mistake of his men, and the saint at once went to Yamaraj, who prescribed the destiny of the living beings. So Yamaraj, being questioned by Muni, replied that the Muni in his childhood pierced an ant with a sharpened straw, and for that reason he was put into difficulty. The Muni thought it unwise on the part of Yamaraj that he was punished for his childish innocence, and thus the Muni cursed Yamaraj to become a Shudra. So, it just seems a little bit harsh that a child pierces an ant, little insect, and for that he has such a, you would have thought that he has accumulated enough piety to counteract that act, the sinful act as a child. He's a Muni and as a great sage, and yet he still got punished. So Muni thought it unwise on the part of Yamaraj that he is punished for his child's innocence, and thus the Muni cursed Yamaraj to become a Shudra, and this Shudra incarnation of Yamaraj was known as Vidur. So the Shudra brother of Dhritarashtra and Maharaj Pandu, the Shudra brother of Dhritarashtra and Maharaj Pandu. But this Shudra son of Kuru dynasty was equally treated by Bhishamdev, along with his other nephews. And in due course, Vidur was married with a girl who was also born in the womb of Shudrani by a Brahman. Okay. So although Vidur did not inherit the property of his father, the brother of Bhishamdev, still he was given sufficient state property by Dhritarashtra, the elder brother of Vidur. Vidur was very much attached to his elder brother, and all along he tried to guide him on the right path. During the fratricidal war of Kurukshetra, Vidur repeatedly implored his elder brother to do justice to the sons of Pandu. But Duryodhana did not like such interference by his uncle, and thus he practically insulted Vidur. This resulted in Vidur's leaving home for pilgrimage and taking instructions from Maitreya. So that was Krishna's plan for Vidur, and he was meant to be on pilgrimage the rest of his life. So Krishna had planned that for him, and then bring back, these, and then help Dhritarashtra as well, like that. So that was the Krishna's plan for him, and this is how things happened. So this is one. So let's see what we can add from here. So Vidur was younger brother of Dhritarashtra. His qualities were super excellent. He always sided with Dharma, and he did not side with Duryodhana, who then banished Vidur. Although he was Duryodhana's uncle, he was born to a Shudra mother, as we have discussed. He's the incarnation of Yamaraj, who was cursed by Mandukya Muni when he took his place. Okay, we've done all that. And in the principle of law of karma, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. No action is excused until there is an appropriate punishment. So this is the law of karma in the material world, that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? So the Muni insisted on some changes in the law of karma. There can be changes in the law of karma. Like other planets, Svarglok, they have different laws of karma. So it's not like there's only one type of law. The laws can be changed. There are different laws on different planets, and maybe in different universes as well. And even like we discussed in last time, the laws of gravity, Krishna can manipulate that as well by lifting Govardhan. So Srila Prabhupada explained that children below 5, they do not accumulate any karma because of their innocence. The parents would probably get the reaction. So I think maybe this Muni, Mandukya Muni, he requested that for very young children, the law be changed. So any child under 5 does not get a reaction. He doesn't know, he's just considered innocent, doesn't know what he's doing. So he's forgiven, that there is no reaction to his acts, but the parents are responsible for his actions, and they would probably get the reaction for his acts. So like that. So parents have to be on guard, how the children behave, because it's their responsibility. Even again, here, like in the UK, I don't know about any other country, but here, children misbehave, the parents are penalized. The parents, they might have to pay a penalty, like that. So, and I think it's 14 up to 4. So up to age of 5, there is no reaction, and I'm just trying to work on my memory. I think up to 5 to 14 is you get half reaction to 14. So the other half may go to the parents and after that you will get full reaction. I think it's 14, but please check. So like that. So maybe it's Manduka Muni who had the law changed, that you can't just have one law from childhood to adulthood. There has to be some difference because of the intelligence of the person. It develops through life. Okay, I'm not too sure what's happening here. Okay. Yes. So yeah, Prabhu sign is 16 in UK. Yeah. Okay. So this was arranged by Krishna for Yamaraj to join Krishna's pastimes. Yeah. So regarding Vidur, this was Krishna's plan for Yamaraj to join Krishna's pastimes. Because Yamaraj is a Mahajan, he wanted to join Krishna's pastimes, but he was not getting any association. He is just surrounded by Yamduts all the time. So everything, there's a reason behind everything. Because Yamaraj, he's always fair, but I think he had to sort of do some changes here to get into the pastimes of Krishna. Who don't know anything about Krishna consciousness, in the case of Ajamil, they told Yamaraj that they were stopped by the Vishnu Dutas who were. So the Yamdutas told him that they were higher than him. This actually pleases him. Vidur, even as Shudra, was a devotee of the Lord and a counselor. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, this is glories of Vidur. There's a lot of qualities which we know is pious, polite, patriot, prudent, practical, perceptive. So, he was like a brilliant personality. And Dhritarashtra was fortunate to have Vidur as a guide with all these qualities. So Vidur was put in the pastime just in the right place where Krishna knows that he will be needed for this task. So Vidur was happy to speak the truth even if that made him unpopular. When Duryodhana was born, there were many inauspicious omens which may result in him destroying the whole dynasty. And I think Vidur mentioned this. Vidur advised that he should be killed as a baby. Vidur said that Duryodhana should be killed because it looks like, you got like a demon born in the family. It's going to be very dangerous, especially for kings. They cannot put themselves first. They have to put their citizens first. They have to put the kingdom first. And if even that means sacrificing themselves or their family, they have to do it. But they didn't do it. Better to sacrifice a son than to sacrifice the whole dynasty, which they rather did. Dhritarashtra was blind, not only physically but spiritually as well, but he did not agree with that proposal of Vidur. So Vidur always gave the right advice, but it was not meant to be, because eventually, again, that's Krishna's plan. Krishna wanted a lot of demons killed, not just one. He wanted a lot, this like all spreading out, and Krishna wanted them killed off. So the Lord does things in a wholesale way. He doesn't do ones and twos. He does things in a wholesale way, just like Mahaprabhu. So much when the times the Muslims, there was so much degradation. The Muslims were happy that these Hindus, they're useless. They just fallen. They're just enjoying their wealth. Doing all the sinful acts. They didn't. That didn't bother them. That the Hindus are not following their religion. They were happy with that. But when they saw the Hindus are chanting the Lord's name, and then like Chandakaji, he was like, "What are you doing? You cannot mention Krishna. We don't want to hear about Krishna. You keep that up, we will not convert you into Muslims." He threatened them. "I will convert you to Muslims. I'm giving you a warning this time. Next time I hear you chanting the name of Krishna, I will convert you into Muslims." And he broke the Mardanga as well, that you cannot chant Krishna's name. This is a Muslim state, because Muslims are ruling at the time. And you're welcome to and eat, drink, and be merry. I don't really care. But either have no religion or become a Muslim. That was the only two choices. There's no choice of any other religion. So like that. So Mahaprabhu, invited by Advaita Acharya to come and save, people who are so fallen and getting degraded in the Kali Yuga. So Mahaprabhu came and saved them wholesale. Saved millions and millions of them. Every town, every village he went to, because Krishna, he wants to do things in a big way, and he saved so many people, and he removed all obstacles that in the way. So Krishna, his plans are big. It doesn't come with small plans. It's like our Srila Prabhupada. He says, I want 1,000 gurus, Diksha Guru. Then I want 10,000. Then I want 100,000. I want million. I want 10 million. I want the whole of the earth planet chanting Krishna's name. And then he wants to go to another planet, another universe. So thinking big, not just on maybe we can convert one or two people to Krishna consciousness. That's how far we think. But the big people, they think big projects, not not small limited projects. Their projects are unlimited. Wow. Okay, so we'll move on to the second verse. Yavatha kritavan prashnan shata kosharava gritaha jateka bhakti govinde tebhyascha pararamaha. So Yavatha, all that kritavan, did he put prashnan, questions, Shata, a name of Vidur, Kosharva, the name of Maitreya, Agratha, in the presence of, Jata, having grown up, Ek, one, Bhakti, transcendental loving service, Govinde, unto Lord Krishna, Teviha, regarding further questions, Cha, and Upararam, retired from, Ha, in the past. So after asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental loving service of Lord Krishna, Vidur retired from putting questions to Maitreya Muni. So Vidur retired from putting questions before Maitreya Muni when he is convinced by Maitreya Rishi that the sabam bonum of life is to be finally situated in the transcendental loving service of Lord Shri Krishna, who is Govinda, or one who satisfies his devotees in all respects. The conditioned soul, the living being in material existence, seeks happiness by employing his senses in the modes of materialism, but that cannot give him satisfaction. He then searches after the supreme truth by the empiric, philosophic, speculative method and intellectual feats. But if he doesn't find the ultimate goal, he again goes down to material activities and engages himself in various philanthropic and altruistic works, which all fail to give him satisfaction. So neither fruitive activities nor dry philosophical speculation can give one satisfaction, because by nature a living being is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, and all the Vedic literatures give him direction towards the ultimate end. The Bhagavad-Gita 15:15 confirms this statement. So by nature and all the, so by the Vedas, so 15:15 mentions that Krishna says by Vedas I am to be known. So that's how the conclusion of the Vedas is that Krishna is supreme, is the absolute. Like Vidur, an inquisitive, conditioned soul must approach a bona fide spiritual master like Maitreya. So Prabhupada in his purport is telling us, like Vidur, an inquisitive conditioned soul must approach a bona fide spiritual master like Maitreya, and by intelligent inquiries must try to know everything about karma, or in this case fruity activities. So karma can have many meanings. So in this case, in this context, it means fruitive activities. Gyan, which is philosophical research for the supreme truth. And yoga, the linking process of spiritual realization. One who is not seriously inclined to put questions before a spiritual master need not accommodate a show bottle spiritual master. Nor should a person who may be a spiritual master for others pose to be so if he is unable to engage his disciple ultimately in the transcendental living service of Lord Krishna. So this is very interesting. So if you have some people, Prabhupada says that some people just have a spiritual master just as like a hobby. Oh, I have a spiritual master. My guru said this, but they're not serious. They just like it's a trend, for the people who got a guru, they will have a guru, just for sake of having a guru, not for for spiritual growth. And similarly, you cannot call yourself a guru if you're not able to attract people into spirituality or convince them or help them grow. So Vidur was successful in approaching such a spiritual master like Maitreya, and he got the ultimate goal of life, bhakti unto Govinda. Thus there's nothing to be known further about spiritual progress, because he found out what the goal is, and now he has to work on it. That's all, and help others like Dhritarashtra. So just like Vidu was inquiring for Maitreya Muni about spiritual subject matters, we should inquire also. So we can learn from Vidur what his approach was. In the beginning, inquire about how to develop faith and about association of devotees, then anarthavritti, and so on. So this is the process. So Shraddha to Prem. So Shraddha, Sadhusanga, and Anartha Nivritti, starting with Shraddha. This way we progress up to the level of Prem. The questioning never stops. So you follow all the processes, and in each process there are questions. So questioning never stops. The living entities are searching for happiness. The goal of life is to be happy, because we are naturally Satchit Anand. That's also our constitutional position, to be Satchit and Anand. But people don't know how to be happy. This is because they don't inquire about their true intrinsic nature. But people know they are spiritual being parts and parcel of Krishna. Now they know that will make them happy. Therefore, according to one's nature, one's activity will be effective in that field. So work according to your nature. First of all, you are a spirit soul, and secondly, you will have some type of qualities. Everybody has something to give. Otherwise, we embrace the pursuit of happiness based on our false identity as thinking with this body. When we think we are this body, we are looking to make our body happy. When we know we are this spirit soul, we are looking to make the soul happy. If we consider ourselves to be this body, then we will endeavor for fruity activities and can never be happy, only become frustrated, because this is a chapla sukha, it's flickering happiness. For the body, happiness is flickering. Because of the frustration, the next level is impersonalism. So when you get frustrated, you would just want to get away from everything. Mayavadis are impersonalists. They talk about Jagat Mithya, Brahm Satya. So they renounce the world, trying to become one with Brahman and experience the pleasure of Brahman. But then they fall down to philanthropic and altruistic work. They give the joy of material creation and try to enjoy Brahman. But they fall down because they didn't enjoy Brahman either. Which means the proactive workers and dry speculators cannot be satisfied. Only the servants of Krishna can be satisfied, because that is our true nature. So it's not about personalism. It's about personalism. We can only be happy in personal relationships, and we're not happy in the material world in the personal relationships because we are looking for perfection in people, and we will not find that perfection. Everybody has, we have faults, other people have faults, but then people will let us down, and that makes us unhappy. Now we're trying to find Krishna in everyone, and you're not going to find that because no one is Krishna. We're very limited in quality and other opulences. We are very limited, so you will not find that. If you want Krishna or Krishna's qualities, then you have to go to Krishna for that, because there is no second person to Krishna. There's only one Krishna, and nobody can be equal to him or better than him. So just very quickly then, so this is what Vidu learned from Maitreya. Srila Prabhupada said that we must learn about fruity activities, Gyan. In Ishopanishads, Srila Prabhupada describes that one should learn about the material world and the spiritual world. If you only learn about the material world, you would become frustrated, and if you learn about the spiritual world, you would become sahajias. So you need to know both, the difference between the two. You take spiritual life very cheaply. If you only know about the spiritual life, then you take it for granted. But you got to know relative, what's the difference between material and spiritual. You need to understand the danger of material life. Then you appreciate spiritual life. That's the key to this. To know sukha, you must also know dukkha. When you know dukkha, you appreciate sukh. When you know darkness, night, then you appreciate the day. On its own, you cannot appreciate it. This way, one's spiritual life becomes balanced because you understand the nature of the material world and what the material world has to offer. And you can compare that to the nature of the spiritual world and what the spiritual world has to offer. So it's important to compare both worlds to be able to appreciate the spiritual world. So we live in this world, but not of this world. That's all. We live in this world and we learn from it, but we don't become attached to it. The guide should be proper, and the disciple should be proper. That is the key to perfection of Krishna consciousness. Okay, we'll leave it here because I want to hear from everyone, at least anyone who wants to speak, and I'll just take it from there. Hare Krishna. Hari Hari Bol. And we'll start with Pundrikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hope you well.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for such a lovely verses and explanation again. Last Sunday, Chaitanya Prabhu was saying this, that we are parts of Krishna. That means we are parts of Krishna's plans as well. So we can see that Krishna's plan in case of Vidura twice now, like one at the time of birth, and again he was being insulted by Duryodhana. As we said, like, Duryodhana was the only one who has insulted Vidura like that. We can see Krishna's plan in his journey. I was thinking like Manduk Mani cursed, and how powerful those sages were in those days, and their curses are being applied as well even in the next life. So I was thinking like in Bhagavad-Gita we hear that it is material nature who is going to award the body to the soul according to its activities and the desires, and that but material nature can do only in permission from Krishna only. So here material nature is giving this Sudra body to Vidura. That means it can give only with the permission of Krishna. That shows that it is Krishna's plan for Vidura being applied even after next life as well. Um, and Vidura is having more affectionated towards his brother, and that shows that affection should be there, but affection should be in a right direction, guiding somebody. Even Dhritarashtra was having more affection towards Duryodhan, but his affection is causing a problem rather than solving the problem. Whereas Vidura's concern was only to solve his problem, to help him get liberated, get him out of this entanglement of old age, birth, and disease again and again. And that shows the compassion of Vidura and the importance of having affection towards other people. And that's what Srila Prabhupada has done, coming long way to US and then spreading his Krishna consciousness. I mean, a day before, my elder brother was asking what Iskcon has done. I mean, can you tell me something good which Iskcon has done? But this is the most important thing, like solving the problems of the people, addressing the mind of the people first. And what else, like in US, rehabilitation expenses were cut down because those people from druggists became devotees and they're living happy life. And even in book distribution, I met at least two people who came out of prison after spending 7 years in prison, and they both read Science of Self-Realization, and they said they're living very happy life now. What else we need, really, Prabhuji? That shows what should be the real compassion towards other living entity. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. We are like we've talked about this so many times that no good just trying to save the dress of a drowning man. We are drowning in this material ocean, and just saving the dress is not enough. We're trying to save the person, not just the dress. Thank you, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. You can see that these texts are so powerful. There's so much information and wisdom just in 2 verses. Vidur was a very elevated soul. He was such an elevated soul that he had such wisdom that only those who want to hear that wisdom are prepared to hear it. Those who don't, because Duryodhana was worse than his father. His father was blind, but Duryodhana was arrogant, conceited, ignorant, you name it, he had those qualities. And he insulted Vidur to such an extent that he identified him as the son of a maidservant, which is true because Dhritarashtra, as a king, was able to do what he wanted at the time of his emperorship. But Vidur went off on his pilgrimage, and many of us go on pilgrimages. And pilgrimages shouldn't just be about seeing lovely temples and seeing lovely parts and aspects of the motherland. But the motherland has those places of worship, those holy rivers, those holy environments where the sages walked. And so the pilgrimage should be in the footsteps of these very highly elevated souls. Where Parikshit heard the Katha is also a place you can worship, you can visit today. So these places do exist. It's a place of pilgrimage. So Vidur returned back from the pilgrimage, and he noticed that, of course, the battle had been completed and there had been no changes in Duryodhana or in Dhritarashtra. And so it was ultimately noted that there was a purpose to Vidur's journey into the pilgrimage, because he met his guru. His guru was a bona fide guru, and he gave him knowledge, values, and the reason for the purpose of life, the destinations. Maitri gave him what he needed to know. So he returned and he was able to impart further wisdom to people. But you can bet your bottom dollar that you can have so much wisdom, but it can still fall on hard, concrete, barren soil. And Duryodhana was no different here. But you can see in those days, children were cursed. And this curse was such that little children at the age of 5 were cursed, or even younger. And this carried on into their next life. Parikshit was cursed. In this country, there is a law that says parental responsibility stays with you till the child's 16. And after that, kids can do anything they want. But Indian kids and their parents, their kids are their kids forever. And hence, the bank of mom and dad, the Bank of India, mom and dad is always there. And hence, we don't have that distinction about age and so forth. But this country makes a very clear distinction. So when you're 16, the door closes, you're on your way, goodbye, and you leave home for other people. Most of our children will remain with us for eternity because they do come back to fulfill karmic responses. And Vidur had the right values, the right injunctions. But this was also a time when later on we hear that the Islamic rulers were around. And it was difficult to carry on with our practice of Hinduism. And hence Advaita Acharya and Mahaprabhu came and ensured that Hinduism stayed, persisted, and continues in its fullest glory as it does today. Because Hinduism isn't just about a religion, it's a way of life. Selfless service helps others. And this values of following your dharma, following your prescribed duties, having good associations were instilled into people and humanity. Yes, we are in an environment where it is misery after misery. But we weren't born to be miserable. Sat, Chit, Anandam is our constitutional state. And that is what we should be aspiring to be happy, even in the face of difficulties and despair. The spirit soul is such a strong entity, and it has to be nourished so that it continues to be a powerful entity for good. Be the change in you so you can be the change in the world. Be in the world, but not of it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful. Pureen Mataji, would you like to add something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. That's very nice points for everyone. So we learn from Vidur how wise he was. He was an exalted devotee. And to repent because he was working for Duryodhana, so he went for pilgrimage before going, meeting the Lord. So we have to repent for any wrongdoings, whatever we do. So karma is very, very strong. Whether we do something knowingly, unknowingly, we have to pay for that. So, and I like the point of Mundika, what was the name? Mundika Muni. How he got the exemption for the children. So otherwise we would have accrued more sins, whatever we done when we were little. So, and also reminded me of the shloka Tadvidhi Pranipaten. So we have to approach a spiritual master and to understand what is perfection of life is. So we have to work on that. And true happiness is only at the Krishna's lotus feet, and we are trying to find happiness here and there. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for
Thank you,
giving
Mataji.
us association. Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, today is a wonderful day. There's so many festivals, from different religions. Even Guy Fawkes Day today as well. So yeah, it's a wonderful day to be having this katha. And always remember, not just remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, always remember Bhagavatam, never forget Bhagavatam. Brother Rani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, Vidurji's life teaches so much to us that we can be so much useful to all of us, everyone around us, through our example or through our life. We don't know whose life we are going to touch. So everybody is a guru, like we always hear. Everybody is a Shiksha Guru. We learn so much from everyone. And we have to find this real satisfaction from the devotional service in life and not from the material side. The material satisfaction, the senses, what they get, they give us more karma. So if we have Krishna in our lives, so something will be pulling us back again to the right direction. That is the difference between the people who have not touched the devotional side of aspect of the, which is the most important aspect of this human life. So we learn so much from these characters, and Vidurji, he is going to teach us so much in this chapter, and I'm looking forward to that. And I would like to wish everyone the last day of happy Kartik. Today is the last day of the
Last day of
Kartik.
happiness.
No, the happiness continues. It's just that the ritual, we're just busy this month offering lamps to the Bhagwan, Yashoda Damodar. That will be over for another year.
Well, I feel a bit sad when Damodar is leaving.
Yeah.
That lovely month.
Yeah.
We always enjoy
Yeah.
Kartik month, and then today is Damodar pastimes are going, completed, and Bhisham Panchak is completed. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday today as well, and I was just saying the Puntikak's birthday today as well. Probably didn't mention it, but yeah, happy birthday to Puntikak's Prabhu. So thank you all so much, and let's catch up on Friday, and then Monday we'll have the overview with actually, funny enough, his name is Vidur as well. This Prabhu is giving the overview. Wife's name is Vidurani. So it's always a coincidence. Coincident after coincident we're having. So nice. Thank you so much. Granth Rashim Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Prem Nande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.